Welcome to the Ogden City Council's quick meeting recap for the work session, Board of Canvassers, special RDA, and City Council meetings that took place on Tuesday, November 16, 2021. In the work session, the Council reviewed the fiscal year 2021 Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report. When the City receives Community Development Block Grant Funds and Home Investment Partnership Grant Funds, a 5-year consolidated plan, and an annual action plan that outline the work that is to be done with the funds are required. As part of the review process required by U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, a Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report is required to evaluate the progress that the City has made in using the funds and implementing the goals set forth in the Con Plan and the Annual Action Plan. As part of the process, the City's Community Development Division provides a review of the CAPER that is submitted to HUD. No further Council action is required for this item. The City Council reviewed proposed amendments to the fiscal year 2022 Annual Action Plan. As a requirement to receive federal funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, the City's Community and Economic Development Department prepares and submits to the Council what is known as a 5-year consolidated plan and an annual action plan. The annual action plan is used to outline how federal community development block grant funds, home funds, and other federal and non-federal program funds will be used by the City in the upcoming fiscal year. When the annual action plan is submitted to HUD in May of each year, specific dollar amounts for entitlement grant funds, program income funds, and carryover funds are estimated for the next fiscal year. Partway through the year, after the specific dollar amounts are known, or when program income from loans and other programs are received, an amendment must be made to the plan to update the annual action plan budget. Often when the mid-year amendment is proposed, changes in funding levels within certain programs and line items are proposed as well. The amendments proposed with this mid-year update includes recognizing program income and carryover funding, as well as shifting CDBG CV funding to the new Business Recovery Fund program. There is no adjustment for entitlement funding for this budget amendment. This will be considered by the Council on December 14th. The Council reviewed proposed guidelines for the Business Recovery Fund. The administration is proposing the Business Recovery Fund for use of CDBG CV funds. The CDBG CV funds, received as part of the 2020 COVID-19 Relief-Related CARES Act, were received by the City in 2020 and included in the fiscal year 2021 Annual Action Plan budget under CDBG CV funded microenterprise loan and small business loan programs. The initial funding was placed under these programs, but funding was separated by the source. Their proposed Business Recovery Fund would consolidate the funding received in 2020 into one newly created program funded solely by CDBG CV funding. Program guidelines, similar to the microenterprise loan and small business loan programs, are proposed to provide standards for use of the funds. The program is anticipated to operate until the CDBG CV funding is expended. This will be considered by the Council on December 14th. The Council revisited a proposed zone text amendment to allow brick homes to be painted in the East Central R15, R2EC, and R3EC zones. Zoning code restricts brick homes in the East Central community from being painted or covered with another material. This regulation is based off the community plan's emphasis on maintaining historic elements in the area. The applicant is requesting to remove this restriction so that brick homes can be painted in the East Central community. The East Central community is part of the Central Bench National Historic District, which was established in 2005. The Planning Commission reviewed the request in July 2021 in a work session in August, and then a final vote took place on October 5th. The Planning Commission ultimately decided that the painting restriction should remain, but with some minor amendments that would allow homes to be painted in exceptional circumstances where paint or a clear seal coat would be necessary to preserve deteriorating brick. This will be considered by the Council on December 7th. The Council reviewed a petition to vacate the right-of-way in an alley near 1730 Washington Boulevard. The developer is petitioning to vacate the portion of alleyway that separates his two parcels for the purpose of consolidating and developing the parcels together. The alley is a public right-of-way that belongs to the City. The Planning Commission found that access to other properties would not be inhibited by vacating this portion of the alley and recommended approval of the petition with conditions that any other easements in the alley remain intact and that the owner records a plat consolidating the alley with his property. This will be considered by the Council on December 7th. The Council received a presentation from the administration for the fiscal year 2021 fraud risk assessment. Based on the scoring of the assessment questionnaire, the City is at a moderate risk level. Staff are looking into addressing other items to increase the City's score, such as adding a fraud hotline. There is no required action on this report. The Council discussed ways to engage with the public regarding the future repair and use of the Marshall White Center. The idea of a more informal setting for the Council to interact with the public regarding the issue was proposed. During public comments in the meeting, Council members were invited to participate in an upcoming moderated discussion about the center in early December. In the Board of Canvassers meeting, the Board certified the results of the 2021 Municipal General Election. Incumbents Bart Blair, Marcia White, Angela Chaburka were re-elected to their seats on the Ogden City Council. Ken Ritchie was elected to represent District 3 on the Council. In the Special Redevelopment Agency meeting, the RDA Board approved the Flagship Community Reinvestment Area. The approved redevelopment area includes a total tax increment budget of $2,904,933 over a maximum of 10 years. The proposed incentive is post-performance and may be used to reimburse the participant, in this case Honor Sports, for improvements made to the property. The project area, as established in the Flagship survey area, is Lot 58 Business Depot Ogden, Plan 18. 3 taxing entities are participating in the CRA, which includes Weber County, Ogden School District, and Ogden City. No other taxing entities are participating in the CRA. Related interlocal agreements between the board and other taxing entities, a participation and incentive agreement, and the council's approval of the plan were also approved. In the city council meeting, the council and mayor adopted a joint proclamation declaring November 27th as Ed Ehrenberger Day in Ogden City and designated Ehrenberger as the honorary mayor of Christmas Village. Ehrenberger has volunteered for many organizations in the community and has been involved with Christmas Village since 2010. The council received the Sunset Report from the Natural Resources and Sustainability Stewardship Committee. The report included recent accomplishments and challenges for the committee. A formal sunset provision exists for all committees and provide a means to review the needs or continuing effectiveness of advisory bodies. After the council received the presentation from the committee, it adopted an ordinance to extend the sunset date of the committee to December 31st, 2024. The entire recording for the meetings of November 16th can be accessed on the Ogden City Council's Facebook page and podcast with timestamps to skip to specific agenda items. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to the council office at 801-629-8153 or send an email to citycouncil@ogdencity.com.